Today's video is sponsored by ZocDoc. It's a free app and website where you can choose from among 100,000 healthcare professionals here in the U.S. And yes, they do take insurance. Now, many of you have indicated a need for medical attention for a wide variety of mood disorders or family practice issues and much more beyond that. So with ZocDoc, you can find medical assistance and check actual appointment times and receive professional care. As the need arises, go to the link that we have below the video here and then proceed with confidence. Hey, Team Healthy. I wanted to take some time here today to address something that's very germane to this time of year, and that is the fact that you can have a very high level of stress due to some narcissistic individuals wanting to wield their control and power and manipulation on all involved in gatherings, and it just turns it into a very stressful time. Now, I wonder how many of you have thought to yourself, well, I look forward to having some time off during the holidays, but there's this one person over here, or there's this group of individuals over there, and we have to go ahead and accommodate them during this time of year, and I don't look forward to it. I'd rather just get away from it. What am I supposed to do? I want to read to you some comments that I have picked up from those of you who watch, and I want to share with you how this can play out, and then I'd like to offer, based on the comments that I read to you, I'd like to offer some input for you so that you can perhaps take some healthy initiative towards you having a good holiday time. Here's the situation. A person writes in and says, I have a situation and I'd like to hear your opinion. I have a sister who's highly narcissistic. She's the only member of the family who lives near me, and because of that, I have become her greatest victim. She's tossed around much garbage about me and has tried to turn my parents and the rest of my siblings against me. And then here's where she kind of starts to give a little background. This person says, before she moved closer to me, I was the one that she would always run to, and so that she could talk garbage about the other family members. But now that she's moved closer to me, the tables have turned. Unfortunately, one of my siblings is starting to listen to her sob stories about me and is believing everything she tells her. Now we are supposed to be getting together as a family, an extended family for the holidays, and there's been much drama already in the planning. I'm ready to jump off the merry-go-round. How many of you could raise your hand and say, yeah, me too? And then be with my own immediate family for the Christmas season, but members of my extended family are disappointed because they're getting wind of this. Another family has already called out my sister. Another family member has already called out my sister for her behavior, and so she's already been blocked from contact. I'm only giving you tidbits and pieces of the drama, and I can't imagine having a good holiday experience with her around. And then she goes on to say, I've been told I shouldn't let her bother me. Okay, let's put a bookmark on that. I'm letting her control me. Put a bookmark on that. I feel guilty about not joining in. Bookmark there, because I don't want to disappoint anyone. Another bookmark. But I've already had a rough year and I don't need the extra stress. My own spouse and kids agree that it's okay to take a pass this year, and they understand my heart. We rented an Airbnb for the holiday, good for you, but I still have a couple of family members asking me to change my mind. I don't know what to do. Now, I'm wondering how many of you have been in that situation where you've said very similar things as this woman is saying. I don't know what to do. I've got this one person who's creating all this drama and strain and tension. We're all trying to decide, well, what are we going to bring to the holiday table and all? And the narcissist raises her hand and says, I know what I'm bringing, stress. I'm going to bring lots of drama. So sign me up for that. And I'm thinking, based on this story and stories that I know that you could echo that would be very similar, it's reasonable to ask, are we obligated to put up with something like this? I mean, I know that there are extraneous factors involved here, but if someone is going to be this difficult and this punitive in the way that they deal with you, why in the world would you say, yeah, Well, based on duty and obligation, I guess I have to just go and let that person smack me in the face if that's what it takes. And I'm going to sit there and be miserable. And then when we drive home, we're going to be talking about how awful it was. And as we drive there, we're going to be dreading going on there. And I know so many of you have had that experience. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just give some broad ideas here. Now, first and foremost, there is no hard should or have to or supposed to that we can appeal to at this time, because this is one of these things where you have options. And sometimes families say, no, you don't have options, you have duties. You have options. And one of the options is to say, if this is that difficult, then I don't need to participate. And that's where this person is. And I suspect some of you are in the same place. Now, you might decide, well, I may participate, but I'm going to participate in a more minimal kind of way, or I'm going to pull back and I'm going to let it be known. I'll have some contact with some individuals, but not all the way that everybody wants. And whatever happens in your world is going to be different just based on the distinctives of your unique situations. But I wanted to zero in here. First, this woman who's writing this in says, I've been told I shouldn't let this narcissistic sister bother me. So in other words, someone is jabbing you in the ribs with a stick, and finally when you say, stop it, other people are saying, don't tell that person to stop it. Don't let it bother you. Just let them jab you in the ribs with a stick. I mean, that's the analogy that I have. Of course you're going to feel frustrated. Of course you're going to be annoyed, and that individual is over there thinking, good, I'm gaining power, which is what I want. This is what I do. It's what I stand for. And so now, when you say I shouldn't let this situation bother me, well, you're human. Allow yourself to have emotion. And then this person goes on to say that I've been told that if I stay away, I'm letting that narcissistic person control me. Okay, so the narcissistic person is doing the controlling, and you're saying I don't want to participate in that. Who's controlling who? And then when you say I'm going to opt out, I interpret that as, no, I'm trying to regain my own personal control. I'm not trying to control anyone, nor is she controlling me. I'm just saying I have my standards, I have my preferences and priorities, and it does not include this. And so to victim shame you in this way by saying, well, you're just letting her get to you, it's a complete denial of the legitimacy of what you're thinking and feeling. So hold on to that. Then you're saying, well, I'm already feeling guilty in advance about not joining in. Okay, let's pause on that one. There's a difference between guilt and grief. You're grieving, yes, that the fact that your larger family system is dysfunctional, or at least it has some dysfunction in it. It's sad. And it's pitiable that you have one individual who's so difficult and impossible to get along with. Other family members, by the way, have noticed that. So I'm hearing you say it's not like you're the only person with the interpretation. So let yourself grieve. And grief means you allow yourself to have the sadness that's there and the feeling of disappointment that you can't have the full family cohesion that you would ideally prefer. That's not the same thing, though, as guilt. Guilt means that there's something that you have done that's inappropriate and wrong, and that you should be held accountable for that. Saying, I don't want to be treated in an awful way is not guilt-worthy. It's something that's grief-worthy. And so give yourself a distinction between those emotions. And then finally, this person says, well, I don't want to disappoint other family members. What I'm hearing is that you've got some other family members who are either A, enablers, or B, in denial. And for you to say, I don't want to be a fellow enabler, nor do I want to join you in your place of denial, is not a wrong thing. If anything, it might be instructive to the ones who are allowing themselves to be used by this manipulative sister. It may be instructive to them that says, maybe we could do something better as a family. So I say all of this, and I bring this illustration to bear by letting you know that there comes a time when you have these this time of year where we're to pull together and have family peace and harmony and all like that. that you have some individuals that'll say, well, I'm just going to throw a stink bomb in the middle of all of this. That's what I'm bringing. And it's reasonable for you to say, thanks, but no thanks. I've got other plans, and you go in that direction. And again, there's no hard and fixed answer to that, because each individual needs to make their own distinct boundaries with regard to this. But my message to this person and my message to you, if you're in a similar kind of situation, is summarized in 2 words: trust yourself. Trust yourself. Are you a person of integrity? If you're not, then don't trust yourself. But if you're a person of integrity, and if you you know that you have good intentions, you have good desires, you have a good way of reading circumstances, go based on what your gut instinct tells you. Survey it. This person has talked with her own husband and her own kids. I'm assuming they're older kids, and they've has counseled with them, and they've said, yes, we understand where you're coming from. Trust your gut. And then please go and have a good holiday time, knowing that you don't have to carry false guilt and false shame. That's the message of the narcissist. And I hope that you can have joy and peace and calmness and affirmation with those that you do love, and make this a good holiday time. So I'm glad to have the chance to talk with you about this in this timely kind of manner. I do hope that as the holiday season is upon us, that you're going to be able to make decisions that are going to be good for you and those you love. Please know that I'm so glad that you're here with me on Team Healthy. I wish you the very best for your own holiday season.